The forest floor was a tapestry of shadows, woven with fear. A little girl, her face streaked with tears, stumbled through the menacing darkness, completely lost. Her tiny hand reached out, trembling, and brushed against something strange. It was a mushroom, but not like any she had ever seen. A soft, ethereal blue light pulsed from its cap, and in an instant, the entire forest around her was bathed in its gentle glow, pushing back the oppressive night. This is the story of Elira, and the day her curiosity led her into a legend. It all began with a butterfly, a creature so rare its wings shimmered with all the colors of a sunset. Elira, captivated, chased it without a second thought, her small feet carrying her deeper and deeper into the forbidden woods. Her village called the Mountains of No Return. She paid no mind to the setting sun, or the familiar paths disappearing behind her. When the butterfly finally vanished, Elira realized her mistake. The sky was now a deep, starless purple, and the forest had transformed into a labyrinth of menacing shapes and unfamiliar sounds. Panic set in. She was alone. Her heart pounded in her chest as she called out, her voice swallowed by the immense silence. Every rustle of leaves, every snap of a twig, sounded like a monster lurking just beyond her sight. Tears welled up in her eyes as a profound, chilling terror gripped her. It was in that moment of utter despair that she saw it, a faint, pulsing light just a few feet away. Drawn by a sliver of hope, she crept closer. It was a patch of mushrooms, their caps radiating a soft, calming blue luminescence. Tentatively, she reached out and touched one. The effect was instantaneous and breathtaking. The single mushroom she touched seemed to send a signal, and in a wave of light, the entire colony sprang to life. Hundreds, maybe thousands of lumina mushrooms, as they were known in old tales, ignited the darkness. They weren't just glowing, they were revealing a path, a clear trail winding through the treacherous terrain. The light was a beacon of safety in the terrifying night. As Elira followed the illuminated trail, she noticed shadowy figures flitting at the edge of the light's reach, creatures born of nightmare, with grasping claws and hungry eyes. But they dared not cross the boundary created by the mushrooms. The gentle blue glow was her shield, a magical barrier keeping the horrors of the forest at bay. The path of light guided her for what felt like hours. It led her across rickety, moss-covered logs, spanning deep ravines and through thorny thickets that would have been impassable in the dark. The mushrooms seemed to sense her presence, their light brightening as she approached and dimming softly once she passed, conserving their energy for the journey ahead. A strange sense of companionship settled over Elira. These silent, glowing fungi were her guides, her protectors. She wasn't entirely alone anymore. She began to speak to them, whispering her fears and her hopes into the glowing air, and it felt as though they were listening. Just as a sliver of hope for escape began to bloom in her heart, the path ahead went dark. The mushrooms before her flickered and dimmed, their light trembling. A low growl, like the grinding of rock, echoed through the trees, and a colossal shadow blotted out the faint starlight. A monstrous beast, all gnashing teeth and tangled, shadowy limbs, blocked her way. It was a creature from the darkest depths of the Forbidden Mountains, and it was staring right at her. Fear, cold and absolute, seized Elira once more. This was it. There was no way around. The beast took a lumbering step forward, its growl rising to a deafening roar. But the lumina mushrooms would not abandon their charge. In a unified, desperate pulse, their light intensified, surging from a gentle blue to a blinding, brilliant white. They formed a solid wall of light, a searing barrier that pushed against the creature's oppressive darkness. The beast recoiled, roaring in pain and confusion, shielding its eyes. The mushrooms pulsed again and again, their light a violent, silent scream of defiance. At the very front of the path, directly in the beast's face, was one small, brave mushroom. It began to pulse faster than the others, its light growing impossibly bright, drawing all its energy into one final, cataclysmic burst. There was a flash that turned the entire forest white for a heartbeat, a silent explosion of pure light. The beast, overwhelmed, let out a final, agonized shriek and retreated back into the abyss from which it came. When Elira could see again, the path was much dimmer. The wall of light had subsided, and the small mushroom at the front, the one that had saved her, was gone. In its place was just a dark, withered husk. Its life force spent in that one heroic flash. A profound sadness washed over Lila. It had sacrificed itself for her. With a heavy heart, she continued on, the remaining mushrooms providing just enough light to see her way. The path was quieter now, more somber, as if the forest itself was mourning the loss. Finally, she saw a break in the trees. The oppressive canopy gave way to an open sky, and below, nestled in the valley, were the twinkling lights of her village. She had made it. She was safe. Standing at the edge of the forest, she turned back to the mountains of no return. The trail of blue lights snaked back into the darkness. A faint, magical river. She whispered her gratitude into the wind, a thank you to the silent, glowing guardians who had guided her through the darkest night of her life. As she took her first steps toward home, she glanced back one last time. In the distance, she could still see the faint, comforting glow of the mushroom colony, and right at the front, where the withered husk lay, a tiny, new pinprick of light was beginning to emerge. A new sprout, inheriting the courage of the one that had fallen, was beginning to grow. A promise that even in the face of sacrifice, life and light will always find a way to return. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more tales from the edge of imagination.